What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Forever Model video. Today's video is going to be about reversal levels. These are very, very important, and they are very, very useful to making sure your trade is good, making sure you know when to um, mitigate your risk, when to put your break even at a certain point, right? We're going to be talking about basically everything that has to do with these levels while we're in a trade. And this is it's a really just a low time frame thing. It's not something that's it can be really found on the higher time frame. I mean, it can, but that is based off your own discretion. After learning this, you can kind of see it on different time frames. But yeah, this is called reversal levels. Now, what the? Did you guys see that? Okay, a reversal level. A is. Am I typing? Okay, a reversal. Oh my gosh. Level is a level in your trade. Primarily on the lower time frame that once hit could be a reversing point in your trade, right? So a reversal level is a level primarily on the lower time frame. We're going to be talking about why it's on the lower time frame. That once being hit, it could be the reversing point in your trade. So what does that mean? Let's say I'm gonna get out my favorite tool again. Actually, we're gonna do the brush tool this time. So let's say that we have a candle like this with a super long wick, right? And let's say that we are over here trending. Oops, 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 oops. We're trending towards that wick, right? And there is a draw on liquidity on the hourly or whatever, right? There's a draw above us. If we are trying to take a trade, right? I just want you guys to use your imagination. If we're trying to take a trade, oops, I did not know what's gonna happen. To this level, we're going to want to go break even once we hit this point. So it would be this line right here. We move ourselves to break even. Boom, right? This is because there are certain points in a trade where the market does not want the hourly or 4 hour draws that we normally have. There are certain times where market really does not move on our time frames, right? Obviously, there's reacting points on different time frames. Maybe we're reacting out of a monthly fair value gap. Maybe we're sweeping monthly highs, monthly lows, yearly fair value gaps. Like I don't believe in like higher time frame fair value gaps, like a yearly or a monthly gap. But maybe the market is actually reacting off of these levels. There's more to what we have marked on the chart. So a reversal level is a level in your trade primarily on the lower time frame that once hit could be a reversing point in your trade. I'm obviously going to show real examples on the chart of this, but for now, this is what you guys need to have written down. So, um, what do we do when we are approaching these levels? Right. So, what are you guys supposed to do when you guys are approaching these levels? When you guys are approaching a level of the trade maybe hitting this one point and then getting completely invalidated, you guys need to be aware of, okay, this could be a reversing point. I need to be focusing on what this means, right? What this is going to do for me. Is this going to, could this completely theoretically reverse our position and make us go the opposite direction? Is this going to be like, okay, maybe the hourly draw is a little bit closer than normal, and maybe we might be able to go through the reversal level, right? These are things that you guys need to be thinking about whenever we are approaching these levels and whenever we have hit these levels. How close is the next draw that we are actually targeting? And yeah, we're basically going to be using this as an addition to our break evens to know when to break even, right? So what do we do when we approach these levels? We need to be aware of where our main draw liquidity is, and what the reversing level could cause when hitting it, right? So we need to be aware of where our main draw liquidity is and what the reversing level could cause when hitting it. Sorry, cause when hitting it, right? So we need to be aware of, okay, again, we're coming up to this point. We need to be thinking, okay, if we hit this point, this could be a reversing point. We could completely reverse. We could completely, once we shift market direction, because again, obviously the market does not always move on our time frames. The market is not always going to move on hourly and 4 hour draws. That's why we are sometimes reacting off of things that we don't see. because it's reacting off of different time frame things. So we need to be aware of where our main draw is and why does it keep doing that, and what the reversing level is could cause whenever you're hitting it. So how are we going to locate the reversing levels, right? How are we going to locate these levels? These levels are going to primarily stick out. I want to focus on this, right? These levels are going to primarily stick out on the 5 and the 1 minute chart, right? So you're going to be looking ideally on the 1 and the 5 minute chart. If we're either in a trade or we're trying to take a trade, we need to be focusing on these time frames because they're going to be prominent highs or lows that stick out on the 1 and the 5 minutes. So highs and lows that stick out on the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame. All right, so these highs and lows, again, they're going to be super, super easy to spot, super, super easy to point out. You can literally open the chart and your dog can find it, right? You guys, these levels are not going to be easy to spot if they're not prominent, right? You guys want to be able to find the prominent levels and be able to use them, as well as all the other stuff that I taught you guys. Imagine how good you guys would be at trading if you have these reversal levels, you have the invalidation zones, you have all this stuff stacked up. This is what's going to work, right? But yeah, prominent highs and lows that stick out in the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame. Okay, boom. So, what? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, what does it look like when the what's it called, levels are going to be ran, right? So what this basically means is, okay, let me pull up this picture. There's like something on my mouse that's distracting me from doing this. Okay, so right, we're gonna draw this little bearish candle again. All right, let's say we have a draw right here. Okay, we're gonna do our little trend. Boom, 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 boom. Right. So if we have a reversal level and we take the level that you guys have marked out or you guys have found, obviously sometimes there's not going to be these levels at all. But if you have found the level and we have displaced past it, we're like going through it, we haven't really got a reaction. Obviously, little reactions are fine. But if we keep continuing our direction, that's how you know you're fine. So if you can be break even in a trade like this, say we're here. If you can be break even in something like this and never have a reaction, we can be break even. Let's say our break even point is, where's the brush at? Here, we're break even. If we displace past your reversal zone, you guys are good. You guys don't have to touch anything else unless you guys want to trail, you guys don't have to touch anything else. Because if we displace past this point, that could be the only point that's stopping us in our trade. You guys are going to be good. It's going to be all chill, right? So enough with me explaining. I think it's time we show some examples. Okay, so today there's literally one. I have it marked out right now. Right? Obviously, it didn't work. And I tell you guys that it's not going to work every single time. But yeah, let's explain. Let me take a sip of water real quick. Okay, so like I just said, these levels are not going to work all the time. But what they will do is give you a good idea, right? So if you were looking at this chart, obviously this sticks out. We're on the 1 minute time frame. This sticks out. Boom. So market open was right here today, right? Some of you guys were taking trades like this, targeting this level, like this, targeting this level. Some of you guys are targeting past it to the hourly draws, whatever, right? This is what we need to focus on. This level right here that sticks out. It is super, super obvious that this could be a point in liquidity where if the market takes this, we reverse, right? And that's why, in my opinion, right here in this bullish candle, when we failed to go higher and we ended up coming back down, there's no reason to have this big of a wick. I feel like these sellers are pushing it down, but that's a whole different story, right? This should be your reversing level. This should be the point where you'd be like, okay, at this point, I feel like the target might, get reversed on, or we might start reversing, and that's why we can see right here, when we took this level, we kind of like chopped around for a couple of minutes and did nothing. I just literally drew over the chart. That's what that looks like. We did nothing. Obviously, after that, we ended up doing something else, like coming up here a little bit. But after this, we had like nothing after tapping that zone. It's a pretty, immediate reaction. That's like, what is this? 50. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like 30 minutes of doing nothing after we took that, right? So this is something you guys need to understand. Let's see if we can spot some more. We're just gonna keep scrolling through. Okay, right? If I'm seeing this, kind of the exact same thing. If I'm seeing this, I'm expecting, okay, this could be a reversing point. This level could reverse us. Again, we failed to go to this level multiple times, right? That is something to note, that we could reverse or break through, right? In this case, we broke through. These sellers ran out of money. They broke to this level, right? I want you guys to like have a super easy time spotting these things on the chart. Okay, look at this. Not an hourly draw, right? But look at this level. Super obvious. This was obviously off of news. Super obvious level. 6 out, prominent. What happens? We took it, dumped down. Same type of thing of kind of like liquidity sweeps, right? But they're just reversals. Let's see if I can find some more. Okay, look at this. This is a good one. Good example. So we have this level right here. Right? Super obvious. Sticks out. That's not news, but it could be a tweet or something. But yeah. Super obvious. This sticks out. This looks pretty obvious. What happens? Well, we fail to go up right here. We fail to go up right here. We fail to take it right here. What happens when we finally take it? Complete reverse. Right? I want to see if I can find one to the downside so that I can make sure you guys are getting what you need. It doesn't really have to be super specific, but I want it to kind of stick out. I mean, this could work again for the upside too. Look, super prominent 1 minute, right? Didn't really fail to go up. We never kind of went up, but look what happened when we did take the zone, right? This is just proof that not every single time we take something, it's going to be liquidity off of the hourly, right? Like market can react to any time frame draws at once. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to find there's really nothing lower happening here that's getting touched. That's obvious. Like I want something to look at that's super. I mean, this is fine, right? It's kind of prominent. It's kind of there, right? And I can show you what happens here. So we come take this level. What happens after we take this level? Boom, come up. Same type of thing. Let's see what else we have. Do we have anything else? I'm trying to find like really good prominent. Let's go on the 5 minute actually, because I did tell you guys to look at the 5 minute also. I'll show you what it will look like normally. So like 5 minute, this is what it will look like. Something like this, right? Super prominent, could reverse. In this case, we didn't. We just broke through. Something like this, super clear, right? This prominent, this is prominent, this is prominent, super huge wick there. This, right? Things like this. I'm trying to find a lower, like this is pretty good, this is pretty good. I'm trying to find one that works. Let's see here. Like this is obvious. We just went over that. We really haven't been doing anything because we're ranging so bad. Okay, this is again like, look at this. Right? Like obviously we never end up going there, but this is super obvious. We go on the 1 minute. Oh, I don't know where that just went. Oh, yeah. Super obvious, right? Super obvious 1 minute, like target up here. It's probably news, probably a tweet or something, like I would assume. Like this is the things you guys need to look for. So let's say, let me find something here. Hold on. Let me we're gonna do one more example of something. So I can get you guys looking at this. So 24022. So let's say, right, there is a draw, which there is in this case. Right here. Just pretend that we're gonna pretend this is closer. All right, so let's say that we wanted to target, something like this, something higher. We're gonna pretend this is like 50 points. We're not gonna pretend this is like actually this much. So let's say we wanted to take a trade like this. Once we were to hit this zone, right, this level right here, we would immediately go break even because we're trying to target this. right? Like I hope you guys see what I'm getting at here. This is used to figure out when to go break even, when to know, okay, I don't want to be this risky in this trade right now, and when to know that when the market could reverse based on prominent draws, which is based on liquidity, right? If you can find a draw on the 1 and the 5 that has liquidity resting at the highs that looks super obvious and prominent, this will work. These will be your zones, right? These will be your levels. Other than that, I really don't have much, right? This is pretty simple. Again, just reversing points that could happen theoretically if these draws are that prominent. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, I hope you have a great day. But yeah, if you guys do have questions, DM in the Discord, DM me on whatever. I will see you guys later.